Celebrities often appear untouchable, living lives that seem to shimmer with glamour and privilege. We see them on red carpets, smiling for cameras, their every move documented and admired. It's easy to forget that behind the dazzling lights and carefully curated images, they are human, vulnerable to the same heartbreaks, struggles, and moments of darkness as anyone else. Their lives, though lived in the public eye, are shaped by the same joys and tragedies that touch us all. Fame does not shield anyone from pain. When loss strikes, it cuts just as deeply, reminding us that grief is a universal language, one that connects us all, no matter our backgrounds or the size of our audience. Aubrey Plaza, known for her sharp wit and signature deadpan humor, has always brought laughter to millions. But recently, she revealed a side of herself that few had seen before, a side marked by profound loss. The world was stunned to learn of the passing of her husband, JeffBaena, a talented filmmaker and her creative partner. His death by suicide left a void not only in her life, but in the hearts of those who knew and admired him. 7 months after Baena's tragic death, Plaza chose to break her silence. She didn't do it through a glossy magazine spread or a scripted television appearance. Instead, she opened up in a raw, heartfelt podcast conversation with her close friend and collaborator, amypoehler. In that intimate setting, Plaza allowed herself to be vulnerable, sharing her pain and the reality of her grief. Her words weren't meant for spectacle or headlines. They were an honest attempt to connect, to articulate the shape of her grief, to reach out to others who might be suffering in silence. By speaking openly, Plaza hoped to help others feel less alone in their own struggles, reminding us all that it's okay to seek support and to share our pain. For Plaza, this loss was not just the end of a marriage, but the loss of a collaborator, a confidant, and a chapter of her own story, closed with a painful and irrevocable finality. The memories they created together now linger as bittersweet reminders of what was and what can never be again. This is a story about grief, resilience, and the courage it takes to reach out when the weight of loss feels unbearable. It's about finding hope in the darkest moments and the strength that comes from sharing our stories, no matter how painful they may be. To understand Aubrey Plaza's loss, we must first know JeffBaena. Baena was a visionary filmmaker, celebrated for his offbeat, genre-blending stories and fearless creativity. He co-wrote, then directed films like and, each marked by wit and originality. His work was a playground for actors, and his scripts were beloved for their intelligence and heart. Baena was a mentor, collaborator, and friend to many in the independent film world. His death at 47 was a profound loss, not just for his loved ones, but for cinema itself. He leaves behind a legacy of films that dared to be different. His voice was unique, irreplaceable, and gone too soon. Aubrey Plaza and JeffBaena's relationship was built on a foundation of both love and creative partnership. From the very beginning, their connection was more than just romantic. It was a meeting of two imaginative minds, each bringing their own unique vision and energy to every project they touched. Meeting in 2011, they quickly discovered a shared passion for storytelling and filmmaking. Over time, they became not just life partners, but true artistic collaborators, constantly inspiring and challenging each other to push boundaries and explore new creative territories. Their relationship thrived on this dynamic exchange of ideas, with each person encouraging the other to take risks and grow as an artist. Their first major project together marked a turning point in both their careers. It was a film that not only showcased their undeniable chemistry, but also highlighted Baena's sharp writing and direction, paired with Plaza's singular, captivating performance. Audiences and critics alike took notice of the magic that happened when these two creative forces joined together. Building on that success, they continued to collaborate on a series of films, including several acclaimed independent projects. With each new endeavor, they developed a creative shorthand, a way of communicating and understanding each other that went beyond words. This deep trust allowed them to take bold risks, experiment with unconventional ideas, and support each other through the inevitable challenges of filmmaking. Even during difficult moments, both personally and professionally, their artistic connection endured. They leaned on each other for support, finding strength in their shared vision and mutual respect. Their partnership became a source of resilience, helping them navigate the ups and downs of both life and the film industry. While their marriage remained largely private, away from the spotlight, Their creative work was bold, public, and often deeply personal. The contrast between their quiet life at home and their fearless artistic output only added to the intrigue of their partnership, making them one of the most compelling creative duos in independent film. Plaza's performances in Baena's films stand out as some of her most memorable and emotionally resonant work. Each role she took on was shaped by their unique bond, with Baena's direction bringing out new depths in her acting, and Plaza's talent elevating his scripts to new heights. Now, with the end of their partnership, there is a palpable void, not just in Plaza's life, but in the world of independent film. Their collaboration left an indelible mark, and their creative legacy will continue to inspire filmmakers and audiences for years to come. When Plaza finally spoke about her grief, she did so with unflinching honesty. There was no attempt to soften the edges or hide behind comforting cliches. Instead, she allowed her pain to be seen, raw and unfiltered, inviting others to witness the reality of her experience. In a world where people often feel pressured to mask their sorrow, Plaza's willingness to be vulnerable was both rare and courageous. She described her sorrow as a giant ocean of awfulness, always present, vast, and inescapable. This wasn't just a passing feeling or a momentary sadness. It was a force of nature, something that shaped the landscape of her life. The ocean, with its endless horizon and unpredictable depths, became the perfect symbol for the magnitude of her loss. This metaphor, drawn from her work on the sci-fi horror film, gave her pain a language that others could understand. By connecting her personal grief to the haunting, otherworldly atmosphere of her film, she made her emotions tangible and real, not just for herself, but for anyone listening. It was as if the darkness and uncertainty of the movie set mirrored the turmoil inside her, blurring the line between fiction and reality. Grief, she explained, isn't a puddle you step over. It's an ocean you must learn to live beside. It's not something you can simply avoid or ignore. Instead, you have to find a way to exist alongside it, to accept its presence in your daily life. The unpredictability of that ocean, calm one moment, overwhelming the next, mirrors the reality of loss. Some days, the water is still and you can almost forget it's there. Other days, the waves crash over you without warning, leaving you gasping for air. This ebb and flow is the true nature of grief, and Plaza's words capture it perfectly. Plaza's words cut through platitudes, validating that grief is not something you simply get over. She rejects the idea that time alone can heal all wounds, and instead acknowledges that some losses leave a permanent mark. Her honesty is a relief to those who feel isolated by their pain, reminding them that their feelings are real and justified. She gives permission for grief to be long, complicated, and ever-present. There is no timeline for healing, no right or wrong way to mourn. By sharing her own journey, Plaza encourages others to honor their emotions, however messy or persistent they may be. Her honesty offers comfort to others. It's okay for the pain to remain. In fact, it's normal for grief to linger, to resurface unexpectedly, and to shape who we become. Plaza's openness helps break the silence that often surrounds loss, making it easier for others to speak their own truths. By sharing her experience, Plaza challenges the pressure to move on quickly. She questions the expectation that we should bounce back or return to normal after tragedy. Instead, she advocates for patience, compassion, and the freedom to grieve in our own time. She stands at the edge of that ocean, forever changed, but unafraid to speak the truth. In her vulnerability, she finds strength, not just for herself, but for everyone who has ever felt lost in the waves of grief. Plaza's unvarnished words remind us that it's possible to live beside the ocean of loss, and that, in time, we can find meaning and connection even in the midst of sorrow. Plaza spoke candidly about the daily struggle of living with loss. Grief, she said, permeates every aspect of life, turning simple tasks into monumental challenges. Yet she also expressed gratitude for simply moving through the world, embracing the paradox of pain and thankfulness. The loss of a partner to suicide brings unique burdens, unanswered questions, guilt, and shock. Plaza's openness normalizes the difficulty, reminding others it's okay not to be strong all the time. Moving forward means carrying the memory, finding a new rhythm, and honoring both love and life. In the aftermath of loss, Plaza found purpose in her work. Continuing to act and create wasn't about moving on, but about survival and healing. She took on challenging roles, including a part in Ethan Cohen's, and released her third children's book. Work became a lifeline, a way to channel grief into creativity and maintain a sense of normalcy. Plaza's dedication shows that while grief is constant, it doesn't have to define every moment. Through her art, she finds meaning and continues to share her unique voice with the world. Plaza's career is entering a bold new phase, marked by resilience and reinvention. She's set to star in Ethan Cohen's off-Broadway play, returning to the immediacy of live theater. The stage demands vulnerability and presence, qualities Plaza brings in abundance, especially after personal tragedy. She's also preparing to portray Heidi Fleiss in an upcoming film, embracing complex, transformative roles. Each new project is a testament to her strength and passion for her craft. Plaza's journey reminds us that creativity can flourish even after profound loss. Her work is a beacon of hope and renewal. By sharing her story, Plaza offers hope to anyone struggling in darkness. Her vulnerability is a gift, making space for honest conversations about grief and mental health. She reminds us, it's okay not to be okay, and there's strength in asking for help. Plaza's message breaks the silence around suicide and loss, encouraging others to reach out. Resilience, she shows, isn't about bouncing back. It's about learning to live with a new reality. Her tribute to Baena is also a tribute to the human spirit, love, loss, and the courage to keep moving forward. Behind every public persona is a human heart that can break. Plaza's honesty creates space for healing and hope. If you or someone you know is struggling, you are not alone. Help is available. In the U.S., call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME to 741741 for the Crisis Text Line. In the UK and Ireland, contact Samaritans at 116 123 or email joe@samaritans.org. In Australia, call Lifeline at 13 11 14. For international support, visit befrienders.org for a directory of helplines. Reaching out is a sign of strength, not weakness. There are people ready to help you find your way back to the light.